Afternoon, my name is Kirsty Dignam and I'm here to record the Monday's Musings, and I have no idea what that's going to include. I'm opening up a wider, more expansive view, not only of the energies that I work with, not only of the energies, my skills, my tools, my connection, but myself as a result. But more curious than fearful, which feels really poignant for this week's energy. If we can approach it with a more curious rather than fearful trepidation, read what is being reflected and apply that to where I am, or not, as the case may be. And I add that "or not" part because the energy this week as well, in particular with the Gemini full moon, feels there's a very fine line between reflection and projection. Every path we are given, we don't have to pick every direction that we see, otherwise we'd never get anywhere, right? So this week it feels really important to hone into our own truths, into our own intuitive navigational system. There's a great emphasis, a great taboo energy around recognizing our own sacredness, our own wisdom, our own power, irrespective of feminine or masculine, our own connection, our own soul. In 2024, we are going to be asked to expand our knowledge, to expand our connection, to expand our wisdom beyond what we've always done. To use that as a foundation, or a brick even in the foundation, but to recognize that there's a deeper union there waiting to happen. Feeling a real sense of inspiration from the unknown, a real sense of stepping beyond with trepidation or excitement, depending on how we choose to see it. And I'm seeing the Two of Swords in my mind's eye, and I'm feeling the navigation, the advice, the encouragement to come from the heart, not from what is obvious in front of us, to close our eyes to what is obvious in front of us. You know, when I close my eyes, I have the ring left over from the light, the artificial light of this camera, this spotlight, this belief that it was all about the emphasis being on how we are seen, the emphasis being on the projection that we want to give across, this artificial awareness that is based on views that are external. That Two of Swords energy now recommending that we close off to seeing things from all different angles, from the double-edged swords, from seeing this side and that side, to going within to the one energy, the heart energy, that actually can interpret it all on the Monday in particular. You know, we're not separate from everything that's going on around us. We are part of it. We do not need to protect ourselves from that we are on the Tuesday. Really stepping into that divine energy on the Tuesday is going to be key. Recognizing that we hold in our very hands, that we hold in front of us that wisdom, that knowledge to move us forward. That it was never really about the trauma or the journey or even the destination, but our very essence that has developed along the way, the treasure of who we are. It's sustainable and it's real on the Wednesday, it's tangible on the Wednesday. So these obstacles that are coming up to help us embody the changes that we have asked for on the Wednesday. Be a temptation. I feel the third eye clearing, I feel the nose shifting, and I feel the free will expanding in the body. And as that happens, as this free, almost Uranus, it'd be interesting to know what the zodiac is doing on the Thursday, this Uranus type energy, this unexpected, oh my God, I didn't realize I could do this type energy comes in on the Thursday. Integration is necessary to pause, reset, integrate, embody everything that is coming through. And it feels light. And obviously when it feels light, what happens when that lighter energy comes through our body, when that Sami, that masculine energy is received into our feminine, into our vessel, into our physical body, it shines, it highlights the denser energy, not the negative, not the bad, but the hucha, the more feminine aspects, the things that have taken a little bit longer to bring forth their gifts, shall we say. And on the Thursday, yeah, that's going to come in if we allow it, if we gift the time needed to do that. Body to truly reflect what you have received, to apply it to where you are, so that you can understand it on a greater level. When we're sharing, we're teaching. Okay, so being aware of that, what are we teaching? What are we actually passing forward? So much going on Friday that it can be quite difficult. Now I see the card as well, the star card. Bacana rune, Empress and the star card. There's great potential on the Friday to let go, to be at one with ourselves, with our body, with what it is we are trying to bring forth, a more expanded vision. But we cannot do that if we fill the gaps. We cannot do that if we try and make tangible what is unknown as yet. Allowing these ideas to float, to waft, and to really concentrate on what is in front of us. All these different potentials, we may find on the Friday we're being asked to bring in some of those skills that we've always had, not because we rely on them, but because others require them of us. They help us to connect to others. My daily guidance, okay, they have a picture in them, they have a write-up, almost like a story with them, they have a title that sums up all the energy, and they have music behind them. They are full and embodied. This week we can almost feel as if we're a bit scattered with the many ways that we can communicate and the many ways that things can come in, but it is about being able to create with a plethora of materials. You know, it is like having a canvas and pencils and pens and paints and fingers and brushes and pictures outside that we can copy, or memories in our mind. The sky is quite literally the limit by next weekend. If you're coming to the end of doing something in a particular way and you begin to bring in different ways and they're great, and then you find yourself going back to the old ways, maybe there's a bridge there that is needed. Maybe it isn't about defending ourselves against how these energies are trying to merge. So for argument's sake, I worked for the NHS for over a decade. I now do holistic health. The medicine that I've gained being a midwife, having wisdom and knowledge in biology, is applied to the healing that I do. So I know why something works and how it works. Bringing them together on the Saturday is going to be key, because not only does it add to the story in a more vibrant, artistic, creative way, it also helps us to recognise where our soul and our body unite, where our lessons and our wisdom can be applied. A different way of working, a different way of being. What version of you is that going to require? What part of you now needs to be allowed room to step up and to step through that darkness of being hidden and unseen into the light of your own awareness, allowing that to come forth by the Sunday. This week it's all about that. It's all about recognizing that everything else is a tool to bring forth your own light, your own abilities, your own place here in the world. We are stepping into that more shamanic type energy, which is connected to all things, because we recognize all life is sacred and all is ceremony. So this week in particular, acknowledging everything that we are going through is a rite of passage. It's an initiation. It's another step into the treasure of this journey. Not the journey, not the destination, but the recognition of who we are upon it. I hope this has helped. Have the most incredible, incredible week. And thank you for allowing me space to discover my own connection also. Take care. Speak to you soon.